Hello everyone, I am Cool Guy, welcome back, and we just had this week a Bungie 221 drop, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. We'll just read through these notes and talk about them as we go. They first start off by saying that they're going to do a Scourge of the Past ride-along on Tuesday, February 26th. I love these to death, man. Hearing from the raid team, building it from the ground up, what their intentions are. Really fun stuff if you've never caught one before. It's going to be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on their Twitch TV page. They then start talking about getting primed for a season of the Drifter, and they bring on Robbie Stevens, which he's the mastermind behind Gambit. And he says they want to make sure to address some of the feedback items in the base activity. And they've made changes based on community feedback. And again, Season the Drifter drops on March 5th. So they changed the third round of Gambit to a Primeval Rush Sudden Death. They say their hopes will be to speed up the Gambit matches overall and add a change of pace to the final round. They said they looked at and overhauled how they chose the Invader spawn location and increased the number of Invader spawn points for each map. And that should hopefully reduce the chances of spawning very near or in direct line of sight of an enemy Guardian. Another fantastic addition through community feedback, they implemented idle protection, which means that players that remain dormant for too long, they're not going to receive any end of match rewards or infamy points. They changed the Triumph Light versus Light can now be progressed by killing any Guardian using a super, not just Invaders. And that's going to help obtain the Dredgen title a little bit better. So they do have some pretty big changes for the blocker types for deposit tier. Small blocker is going to be Taken Goblin with less damage than previous Phalanx. Medium blocker is a Taken Captain with more health than the previous Knight, and then the large blocker is a Taken Knight with more health than the previous Ogre. And honestly, the Ogres just kind of sat there, didn't really do anything. Huge crit spot. We know that the Knights kind of jump around, makes life a little bit more difficult, and they're going to have more health, so I'm all down for that. They're also going to have triple infamy, which is what I need. All I need is the ghost to have the Dredgen emblem, and I need that thing to drop. So triple infamy is 226 at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it ends on March 5th. Again, when Season the Drifter starts. So here's a big one, some Sandbox changes, quality of life changes. They say our Sandbox team will be fine-tuning some weapon archetypes to refresh the gameplay experience in Destiny 2. The following is a quick preview of some changes coming to the Destiny 2 update 2.2.0. And they bring in Sandbox designer Victor Anderson. First, they start off by talking about linear fusion rifles. They talk about the potency of linear fusion rifles in Gambit especially. They had Sleeper Sim, then came Queensbreaker. They try to make them less forgiving, so we can all enjoy a change of pace. So linear fusion rifle aim assist values will receive an adjustment to reduce effectiveness at very long ranges. And they say while Queensbreaker has high aim assist values by default, we discovered an issue. It was not honoring aim assist values that are applied to other fusion rifles in the same archetype. So this resulted actually in Queensbreaker having over double the intended aim assist. So we all know where that's coming from now. That thing's so easy to use. Let's take a moment and just realize and know going forward with this game how important the aim assist value is. And with these changes, linear fusion rifles will receive a 10% damage increase in PvE to compensate for those changes. So with shotguns, they're making changes to rapid fire shotguns with a full auto perk. They say we're doing this for a few reasons, one of them being that the full auto perk feels far too important for shotguns in PvE. The perk's effectiveness doubles the damage output by any given shotgun due to that rate of fire increase. It was so impactful for rapid fire shotguns that they were the only answer, the only choice for PvE. So with Season of the Drifter, they say we hope we might bring inspiration to equip an aggressive shotgun or maybe even take a slug shotgun for a spin out there in PvE activities. So shotguns will receive a damage multiplier in PvE activities, effectively doubling their damage. The Legend of Accius is the exception to this because that thing's just out of control. The full auto rate of fire bonus from shotguns is now 10%, down from 100%, a 90% nerf. In addition, it no longer increases the shotgun pellet spread. Default rate of fire values have also been shifted. Aggressive RPMs are 55 RPM, up from 45. Precisions are 70 rounds per minute, up from 55. Lightweights are 80 RPM. They were stated to be 90 previously. So the rapid fire 140s, down from 200. They were previously native 100 RPM. Due to its intrinsic full auto perk though, they were actually 200 RPM. So they're sticking around 140. They also reduced the base damage for shotguns across the board to align to their new rate of fires per sub-archetype basis. Ammo reserves for shotguns were also reevaluated due to the increased efficiency of having more damage per shot. And with those changes, they adjusted the shotguns in the Crucible. While shotguns will remain effective in the Crucible, we have toned down the range at which shotguns can secure a one-hit kill. Additionally, the team has some information regarding balance changes to One-Eyed Mask. So the main thing, the shotguns got a range nerf. Now moving on to One-Eyed Mask, they say that it was way too effective. It's become a non-choice exotic for Titans in PvP. And they say after implementing these following changes, they believe the exotic will still be potent if used well, and there will be more opportunities to counter it. The duration of Mark of Vengeance has been reduced from 15 seconds to 8 seconds. The way players refill health after a successful kill has been changed. Before, it restored all of your health and the overshield refilled over time. Now the health refills over time along with the overshield. This should give you a leg up when encountering situations with multiple people fighting one person with the one-eyed mask equipped. Vengeance will no longer trigger for players in Super, it was making Supers far too potent. They say a new season means a new reality in combat. Keep up the chatter, we'll be keeping and curating the Sandbox so that Destiny adapts to the way you play. So in theory, yes, that's a nerf, but we're going to see how that works in-game. I still think that One-Eyed Mask is going to be one of the absolute top priorities for Titans out there. Purely, the whole idea, the Red Death type perk of getting your health back, along with an overshield, shouldn't steer you Titans away from that. That's still very, very strong. One of the main things I've always griped about One-Eyed Mask is going to be, I was always punished for someone else's mistake, if that makes sense. But again, we're going to have to see how all that plays out. They do have a quick preview of something that hunters have been asking for. If you ever found yourself thinking, it would be awesome if I could see the entire cloak when previewing shaders, we have some good news for you. So now when you inspect your cloak, you can see the entire cloak top to bottom. They end with saying we'll have more patch note previews leading up to Season of the Drifter. Until then, have a great weekend. We'll see you in the wild. So I'm very excited for Season of the Drifter, but there are a couple things that I would like to see. I mean, I want to know if there's going to be new weapons, new mods, new perks, anything like that. They don't have to necessarily tell us what those weapons are, I just need to know if they're coming. It's one of the reasons we play, to get new loot. Hopefully there's going to be multiple pinnacle rewards for Crucible, Vanguard, Gambit. They talked about Thorn. So there's a lot of stuff that we still don't know, but I want to know more. Season of the Drifter is very big for Bungie. You could say that even though that this was a part of the original season pass with Activision, this is one of their first true drops as their own. I think that they said that they're still getting help in this transition period from other studios that Activision paired them with, but still they're the captains of their own ship now, and I'm looking forward to the future. So what do you guys think about this week at Bungie? More importantly, what do you think about like the One-Eyed Mask nerf and some of the things that they're doing to shotguns? And while we're at it, what are some other things that you would like to see? Thank you guys for watching, and until the next one, I am Cool Guy.